Hello, everybody. This is Josh, and today we are continuing our city of Little York in this episode 9. Let's see how we can expand this city. And well, in the last episode 8, what we finished was what I like to consider the medium density zoning, in this case, medium density residential. We zone high density, but we make it small. In this case, 2 squares uh, in depth. So that way we have smaller buildings that look a little bit more like medium density buildings that we don't have. We don't have medium density. Um, so as always, we start checking with electricity. That I think we're gonna need another power plant pretty soon. We're doing well with water for now. Garbage. We might want to spend a little bit more on education, but I think we're fine for now. And again, traffic is not an issue yet. So there's two things that I want to accomplish in this episode. The first one is to get to the next milestone, which is capital city with 28,000 population of 28,000. We are about 3,700 people to go because we're gonna get an extra tile to purchase. And as you can see, I think we're doing pretty well. I might wanna purchase either of these two squares. I think they're gonna be great, or even this one. I think we can do some really nice things here. And we can start working a little bit more with some different type of transportation, in this case the ferry. So we're gonna see. I think it would be a good idea, especially since we have some really cool stuff on the coast with these ski walls that are really nice. So we are gonna see. So what we're gonna continue is I'm gonna zone a little bit more, and what I'm gonna do here is to try to continue this avenue here, go around, and all the way here. That way we have this really nice drive it for this river or lake, and I think we can work on maybe flooding it within the next couple of episodes. I think we can create another lake, or maybe just a really cool park. So let me get started with this really nice piece of residential zoning, and we'll be back. this little area continue to grow. I did only zone this, not to overdo it, but let's see. We're gonna wait a little bit. Um, there should be good, yeah, good public transportation. So I think we're fine for now. The next thing that I wanted to do, and it's something that I think is gonna take. Let's just finish this really quick. I don't know why we didn't finish it last time. One thing that I do want to do is to build the airport, and I think this is the perfect place to build the airport. We have this exit here. We really wanted to do another exit here, but I don't think it's gonna work. We're gonna just let it be for now and take it as it goes. So that's what we're gonna do. In the meantime, I do like the fact that we're gonna start our airport. Now that we have the airports DLC, I really don't think there's really, unless you don't want to get too involved in with your airports, I think that it's completely fine to always use the airports DLC. Of course, you don't have the airports DLC. That doesn't mean that you can't put an airport because you should be able to have something here as time progresses. But for now, I think it's gonna be perfectly fine. So the first thing that we need to do, because we have decided to make this our airport, our first airport, is to zone. And part of zoning for an airport is to terraform. Fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to see it, this is part of what needs to be done. All the terrain on the airport has to be completely flat. I think that's some of the issues that sometimes you have placing other buildings, but it's very important that that happens to the airport. Since we're not gonna have enough soil, the new update allowed us to buy soil. I'm gonna let this run just to make sure that we continue having enough money. Because airports are not cheap. They are not cheap, especially when you're starting and you don't have a big city. And I'm gonna make sure that we zone as much as we can. That way there's enough space for some other things. Again, as I keep telling you, there's no right or wrong answer. There's no right or wrong way to create whatever you want to create. It depends on you. And so if you like it, if you don't like it, the way that I build or design my airport, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with not liking it. And of course, you are free to do your designs however you wanna do. And so now, as you can see, this terrain is completely flat. And again, it's just different to see how you want to do your airport. This, I think, a really nice size of land for the airport, and I think that it's gonna work great. So a few of the things that I like to do with the airport, just lay down several roads, leaving enough space here for everything else. Let's terraform this a little bit more. The reason why I'm doing this is that so that we have a one-way street going this way and ending up back at the roundabout, because we're gonna have more stuff on this side, but we're gonna wait for that. They just played that now. However, now it's time to lay down the first terminal. For this city, I'm not gonna start. I usually start my cities, the airports that I've been working with, or the cities that I've been working with. I start them with a classic airport terminal, but I think this time I'm gonna start it with the modern airport terminal. And let's see if we can start working on it here. There you go. Maybe here. And once we plop down the first terminal, that's when we get the basic stuff for level 1. There you go. So that's a nice modernish airport terminal. Looks really, really nice. There you go. And so let's try to make it a little bit better. I think this looks good enough for our first terminal. I think that's gonna work really well. I'm gonna put the control tower. I'm gonna put it here. And we are also able to put the parkings or the stands for the aircraft. So let's not go overboard with it, but let's put 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 5. I think 5 is good enough. Okay. And we also need to do a runway. Okay, so we got a very basic, somewhat nice, I would say, airport. Let's make sure that everything has water. So there's water there. I think we can put water there too. Electricity. I think we can do this for now. There we go. I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do with this area also. So there should be electricity. We have a functional runway. And let's change this to Little York Airport. So we're at level 1. The attractiveness score is 80. We need to get it up to a 200, which we can do in a little bit. And we are gonna see how things develop really, really quick. Let's just wait and take a look. So now that we've seen that planes have been able to take off from our airport and there's no issues, we should see some landing pretty soon. I'm gonna start upgrading some of these roads. And I'm gonna start this with the roundabout. Which is working great. That is gonna work great. And for right now, I'm not gonna care too much about this. We should be fine again for now. And I am gonna upgrade these roads too. So what I'm gonna do with these roads, it's something that I tend to do with some of the other cities that I play with, is to create a district with hotels and some other amenities. So we should be able to, first of all, we can add, since we don't have that many unique buildings, that's when we need to start doing. I'm gonna add the expo center here. I think it fits, it almost fits nicely, but we can fix that really quick. We make this a little bit bigger. There you go. Let's see. Let's pause it really quick because I think we're gonna lose power, but there you go. Let's continue. And now we continue with the unique buildings, which is gonna be this here. And I still think that we should have parking lots in Cities Skylines, so we make our own, like you know, and I make my own. So let's start putting some here. Make sure that it has water. Everything should have water. Okay. And we'll continue expanding this in a little bit. Again, we need to get to 200, and we'll get the passenger count really fast, really easy. That's something that doesn't give me any issues. Let's try to get it some power. There you go, should have power. And let's create a district. And for this district, that is gonna be all this. This is gonna have the wrong one. This is gonna have the tourism specialization. And we can start zoning in a little bit. Let's make sure that we add enough and what we're gonna do is, from right now, do create a pedestrian walkway, because that's something that's gonna allow us to not have that much traffic within the within this intersection. I'll figure out how to fix that in a little bit. works. There you go. It's working really well. Once we're here, we're just gonna lower it and finish this. So give me just a moment. And yes, there is a mod that can make this a lot easier. But again, it's one of the things that, it's okay to do. And I think it works. It looks well enough. I might not be perfect, and I'm not gonna worry about this right now because there is no need. But one of the things that I need to do, that I want to do, is to make sure to get these together. Especially here, I think this would be a good place to put it. And I think we should be fine, at least for now. Okay. I think that's gonna work just fine. I think I have a little park and plaza. I don't, but I have a 1x1 little park. So I think that's gonna work really, really well. Let's zone for what we wanted here. And again, this is to avoid, even though it doesn't work perfectly, it helps avoid cars stopping when people are walking through the crosswalk. What also helps is to make this a highway, freeway, or expressway, however you want to call it, because that way there's people are not going to cross this to get here, and that means that you also avoid another crossing here. Again, it all depends where everybody is going, but I think it works well enough, at least on this situation. So we're gonna work a little bit with we can put a little bit more, just a little bit more parking lots here. There you go. I think it works. Again, it works really, really well. What I don't think we have done is to create a dedicated bus line, and I think that's gonna be the next thing to do. So let's put it here. Make it stop here. Here. And here. And then back. And since we have the airport DLC, that's going to give us the option having this be an articulated airport bus, something that they fixed already that I had complained in previous, or I had noticed in previous episodes, is the fact that the biofuel bus depot will not spawn any of the new buses. And if you have back then, if you had both the regular bus depot and the biofuel bus depot, the biofuel bus depot would um, spawn buses that you didn't select. So that was an issue that thankfully they were fast. They solved pretty fast. We're just gonna put it, just put it there, so we can change this really quick to the articulated airport bus, and let's change the color to yellow. I think that's gonna be a good color, at least for this one. Okay, so as you can see, we have this really nice district for tourism that I think is working really, really nice. Let's make sure to, there you go. And let's put another building. Let's see what we can put in here. I think we can do the luxury hotel here too. And I think that's gonna work really, really well with the expo center here and being part of the airport district. Okay, let's put a little bit more. There you go. I think it's gonna work great, at least for now. We don't have to worry about it too much. Maybe we can make this a nice park or nature reserve, but I think it's gonna work really well. Let's make sure that I didn't make any mistakes. Yeah, when the planes land, they go here, they go around. Perfect. So some of the things that we need to put in there to have our airport grow, as you can see right now, we have the attractiveness score of 80, is to add some of the things that we are given here. The first thing that I'm gonna do is to build the airport budget hotel, and I think it's gonna go perfect here. And let's expand this here. There you go. And add a couple more. I'm gonna add a plaza first, and 1 and 2. There you go. I think this is gonna work really well. We can put this here, and that's gonna work perfectly. This is not being used that much right now, but I think that's fine. I don't think we should have any issues. And the first thing that you're gonna notice is that the attractiveness now jumped to 120, which means that the budget hotel gave us a bonus of 40. The next thing that I'm gonna do is to expand the taxiway a little bit more. And just a little bit more, and because of that we're gonna have to expand our area, but it's gonna be fine. We have enough money. Let's see how we can do it. There you go. And the reason why I want to do it is because we need to, again, increase the attractiveness, and we need to place down some hangars here. And I think this location is going to be great. And we are also given a couple of park planes. Again, this is just for decoration. Unfortunately, they don't do anything more than that. But if you do something like this, I think that it works really, really well, and it doesn't get in the way. And now if we see, again, we have increased now the attractiveness score to 300. That means that it was about 180. So maybe about 30 points each. Also, you need to make sure that there's water. And I think this is gonna be great. We do have an airport bus station, but I don't think we need to do anything with that yet. I don't think we have a big enough airport to do that, but I think we can put it on this side, and I think it will work really, really well. As you can see, our buses are already getting here. These articulated airport buses have a higher capacity. They look great. I think all the new vehicles that they added into the content creator pack and these DLC look great. The capacity increased from 30 to 50. We have 18 buses. I think for now I'm gonna slash it 50%. I'm gonna put to 50 because I think it's a lot. Or just 60. I don't want to make it a bigger deal because I think we're gonna start seeing a lot of people here. I'm also gonna build a taxi depot, and that way we can have one here and here. Honestly, I can say that I've never seen any taxis in here, but it helps with the bus stops. Like, I think it looks well enough for that. As you can see, the taxis are already on their way. We might put another one here, but we don't know yet. Another thing that I didn't kinda used to do that much is to have fences. And this one is available, oddly enough, at level 2. And it's also not available here, so it's not that easy. And lately I have changed my stance. It's not that I've changed my stance, but I've come to appreciate detailing things a little bit more, especially when you are with playing the vanilla version of the game. I think that it helps to do that, to have a bit of a different outlook into your city, and I think that it works really, really well. I do think like this airport area is working really, really well. We have a big issue when it comes to pollution of the water. But I think we can fix that pretty soon. I think that this looks really, really nice to take a screenshot. And hopefully our airport can continue to grow, and it already did. It already reached level 2, which we get larger hangars, we get a luxury airport hotel. We get concourses, which we're gonna use in here. Aviation fuel station. We have the metro station. We have some park planes and a medium aircraft stand, as well as the lounge. And that's something that I do like to put in here. So first of all, if we can afford it, at least for now, because again, now the attractiveness level has to be higher. In this case, it has to be 1,000, which sounds a little bit too much, but once we start working on it, you can see that it's not that bad. Thankfully, we have 77% of the passenger seats used, which is really, really good. We have hotel discounts, great maintenance, and car rentals, but we don't have the airline feature available right now. So let's do the lounge. I'm gonna do one here. And as you can see, we're gonna go from 300 to 360, which means that it gave us a big boost. And we might want to put some others here. The other thing that we might consider doing, and it wouldn't be a bad idea, but it might give us a little bit of a headache, even though we're not able to right now. And finally, we got the capital city. We completely ignore our growing city, or the little residential area that we had put in there. So we got to capital city, and we have the extra area to build. We're gonna leave that for, we're not gonna worry about it right now. So again, the only thing that we can do here, we can try to put this really nice 2-story terminal. And I think that would be just great. The only problem is that we need to change things a little bit. And that's something that I don't like in this game for now. So let's stop it. Let's always save the game just to make sure in case we make any big mistakes. Let's do that. And let's go back. Let's move this here. We're gonna move this here for now. And this one here for now. And let's try this again. And as you can see, we can even try to put it here. Let me think. We can try to put it in the same. Let's try to see if we can do. We can put it in the same area more or less. Let's tear this down. Let's do this. And of course we run out of money, but we can get along. That's not a problem. Another thing that I would have liked for them to have given us in this with this update and this DLC is they were able to create these roads, these one-way roads with the bus lane. I wish that was included here. I think that's they overlooked that. I think it would have been just a great addition to it. They didn't do it, unfortunately, but hopefully they can fix that in any future situations. So let's see if we can do this, if we can get it. I think that's gonna work. Okay. Also, I don't like the way these two stack up. You know, you're not able to... Like, you can do this, but trying to put them together gets a little bit tricky. So that's also something that I wish they would have uh, looked into, because then you end up with something like this, which is not that bad, but which is how I'm gonna do it here, just for the sake of it. But it's something that I wish they would have done it in a better way, because it looks a little bit odd. Uh, Although we can actually fix it in a little bit, but I think it's fine for now. We're not gonna worry. It's working, and that's what matters. Let me try to fix this, and we'll be right back. There you go. We were able to create a nice little path in between both terminals. We were able to actually detail it a little bit more. For some reason, I don't find the big bushes that we were able to have before the update. I don't know what happened to them. But otherwise, it's great. I think it looks nice. Again, for the... It wasn't little effort, but we didn't spend that much time there. And I created another bus line, because unfortunately it cannot go one line. I'm not gonna make it go around so it can pick up more people here. So what I did was just pick up people at the bottom and create another line at the top that goes around this side, and see how it works from there. Of course, when it's arrivals, departures, I don't think it matters, but we'll see. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to make this concourse a little bit bigger, and we're gonna do it... Let's try to put it up until here, because we are gonna add a couple of medium aircraft stands. Since we don't have that much money, but we are making good money, I'm gonna get the 200,000 loan. And we're gonna start putting those here. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There you go. Let's make sure that they have water. Okay. And let's make sure to connect them. There you go. Let's try to see if we can get this airplane so we can follow it. Has no passengers, but it's trying at least. Let's see how it goes. It's looking good. We avoided a crash, and as you can see, they are out. Let's see what else we can put in here to make this a little bit. Let's put the festival area. I think it should be good enough. With the festival area, it's just really weird how it works. You know, you do have to increase the price of the tickets for the popularity and all that stuff. It's just weird. Let's make this a yellow. There you go. For attractiveness, it's still 360. And we have more stuff to put in here. So I think the first thing that I might want to build is the luxury airport hotel. And it doesn't fit in there, but I think I'm just gonna put it here. Or maybe just, yeah, we can put it in here. I think it should be fine. I wish it would have added a couple more hotels. I think it wasn't enough, but it should be fine. Let's see how this line is doing. It's doing pretty well, which means there's almost nobody riding it. That's fine. And let's also add another plaza there. And what else can we put in there? A little park here. And I did create a, where is it at? A little taco truck plaza. And I think we can maybe put it here. Let's first get some water. And let's see how far we can get with this. And we can leave it there, but I think it's just fine for right now. As people are complaining that there's not enough customers, but I think we should be fine as the population grows and as we get more people here. Yeah, should be fine. So now let's see how we grew this airport. Let's take another quick screenshot. As you can see, it's working pretty well. I one of the things that I do kind of like and dislike about this DLC is the fact that you do need a big piece of land to create the airport. And that way, you can create lanes that work better, the taxiways that work better, the runways. And sometimes it's just a little bit um, it's just a little bit of a situation, trying to get stuff like that done. But overall, I think it works great. So there shouldn't be any issues there. We can put some more hangars here, but I also wanted another runway. Uh, and that's also the thing. You need a big space, and I think that that's a little bit problematic for when your city keeps on growing. And that's a little bit unrealistic, which what I always say about the population, because it's less than 29,000 people, and you have this huge airport with uh, you have 5 regular small aircraft stands, you have 5 medium size, and we're gonna be close to getting, not that close, but at least with passengers we're almost there. We can put some more hangars and stuff like that. That was open, hangars and park planes and stuff like the airport fence that I think I'm gonna work on it right now. And sometimes it just doesn't make any sense as to how easy it is uh, to get stuff like that done. So yeah, that's one of the negatives that I have towards this game. This DLC more than anything. But again, the game itself, sometimes it's not as realistic as you would want it. Because of course, we don't play this game because we're building real cities, but we play it so that we can get our fix with creation of this city. Let's see how we can do this. There we go. I do think also that in this case creating a fence adds a lot to this to the airport. So that's something to consider all the time. I'm not gonna extend it right now, but that's for later. One of the things that I have been doing since I began playing this game, and that I've seen other YouTubers do, is to decrease the number of lanes if there's a lane that's going to exit and another one that's going to enter. It doesn't work perfectly, and in some cases doing this will mess up things a little bit further down the line. So it all depends where you're putting it, what's the situation with everything else. But otherwise, you can do it. It's helpful in most of the scenarios, most of the cases. Some of them are not as easy to do. So again, it's not the perfect situation. But again, it works well enough. Also, I don't know how this works, but as you can see, there's no way where you can change how you're laying down the fence. This part of the fence has it on this side, the other on the other side. So that's also something that you don't get to see it that well, especially if you don't use the mods that actually help you with that. But it's something also to consider. That if you want to see everything in detail, it's not going to work quite as well as you think it is. But it's still going to work, which is something good. As we can see, this airport is really uh, getting very busy, which is always good. Let's take a look at this side. Again, I think it's working really well. I didn't want to zone this, but I will zone this a little bit, or just to get it zoned, because I don't know what I want to do here. Uh, sometimes you don't know what to do with certain pieces of land, and I think that's one of them. Uh, I don't know if I just want to change things or just leave it the same. Um, but I think overall it's working really well. We might want to get this a little bit higher, uh, but otherwise I think we are fine. This one is empty, so let's destroy again. Unfortunately, uh, the fact that we can have 3 different garbage trucks with the landfill, but not with the recycling center, bothers me a little bit because you're not able to use the content creator pack as much as you would like, which is something that I actually forgot to do here, which is to put the police station. I'm going to put it here, and the fire station. So I think that's going to work really well. For these smaller stations, I leave things as they are. I don't like to change the cars that come out because it's a little bit unrealistic. Uh, but overall, I think that it works really well. For this, let's see. There's a lot of people here, so I do think I'm gonna go to 80. We need about 5 more. Let's do 85. That's gonna be 430. And hopefully we'll see how things change on that. And our next milestone is gonna be for 38,000, which is a lot, and we're gonna be able to get another tile. So I think we should just purchase this one here. Because I think it's gonna add these to us. We're gonna be able now to get people from the from sea, from with the harbor, both for the cargo and for people. And I think for visitors, I think this is gonna be a great place to do it. And for harbor, we can actually put it around here. It can have its own exit so that we don't mess up anything here. I think we're also gonna want to put something else here, but we're not gonna worry because we don't have access to those tiles yet. So we're gonna have Colossal City, then Metropolis, and then finally Megalopolis, which is when we, because of the one of the only mods that I use, which is opening 25 tiles when you get to the last milestone. So that's the one that I do use, especially if you're able to do it. Go for it. I think it works. It works really well. I do think that we created a really nice airport here. Of course, it's not perfect, and we are gonna change that pretty soon because I do plan on having yet another runway here. This is gonna be for the planes to land, and this is gonna be for the planes to uh, fly, to depart from. Uh, I think we're gonna have a little bit of an issue when it comes to adding the large aircraft stands, but we'll cross that bridge whenever we have to. To recap really quick, we added to this quote unquote medium density zones that I created here. It's not really medium density. What it is basically high density that we changed to uh, have a little bit more or a little bit less height, which is something that the game allows you to do. And that way, making them smaller in depth. And doing that, we can see it looks a little bit like apartment buildings, especially in this type of map. Because of that, we were able to reach the next milestone, which was 28,000 people, which is capital city. We got to unlock this other square, which will allow us to put a harbor for travel and for our industry. But most importantly, we were able to create this, what I think, good looking airport zone with a nice zone for tourism here. I'm glad how things are turning out. Of course, it's not perfect. I'm not an engineer. I'm not an architect. So that's not something that it's gonna be a problem if you don't like it. But I do want to make sure that you, like I keep saying, that you understand that do things your way. Uh, try to get some hints from the airports that are close to you, and I think they will work really well. Let's make sure that we're doing yes. Okay, let's do that. And overall, again, I think that we were able to expand really well in this episode, and hopefully we continue expanding on the next one. As always, I want to thank you for watching this video, liking, subscribing, commenting, with suggestions, with questions, with concerns, with comments, anything you want to leave behind. Don't forget to subscribe and watch not only these videos, but the unboxing and speed building videos that I have in my other channel. Thank you, and until next time.